Now, for any game that's being developed, there tends to be a lot of cut content along the way. Either these ideas never got onto the planning block, just being a simple idea, or were probably in prototype phases. Or even two, they were almost nearly done but end up getting canned, or restructured into a new idea altogether. This applies to Call of Duty Zombies. For today's video, I'm not looking at the other zombie modes, I'm more looking at Treyarch zombies. As well, they're the first ones to do zombies modes, and well, they had a lot of cut maps along the way. And so for today's video, we'll be looking at the cut maps, all the way from World at War to Black Ops 4. So in a sense, old zombies. We're only looking at cut maps. I might do another video where we look at the extra cut content because there's a lot, but we're going to be looking at the maps. First, starting with World at War. And well, I'll divide them into sections of what game I'm talking about for the cut maps. I have a timestamp if you want to skip to that game and hear about that game's selection of cut maps. Before I talk about the cut maps, I want to say something about my channel first. In my Black Ops 2 video, I started a SubGoal. The SubGoal was to hit 5k. So when I hit that mark, I'm going to do a Q&A stream. So it will be my first stream for this channel. Well, I think I want to hit it around towards the end of August, so practically in 2 months. I would prefer if I hit it earlier. Right now I'm sitting at 2k subscribers, so I would appreciate any new viewers or any returning viewers who subscribe right now, and to check out my other stuff too. But with that out of the way, let's go back into the video. Let's start with the first game, World at War. Well, there was 5 cut maps for World at War. 3 maps were intended for a 4th map pack. World at War only had 3 map packs. The map pack 4 was going to be the last one, and I guess this is where the first idea to start the next DLC going all out in zombies. But the map pack was cancelled because Modern Warfare 2 just released, so to the team, it didn't make any sense to waste resources on this 4th map pack since Modern Warfare 2 was going to take that attention away. All these maps were in planning phases, except for one. One was about to be done, but got released for a different game. But for the 3 maps for the map pack, one was called Coast. Now for all of them, there's limited information, just only game information, with some files having, well, not that much information to go digest off of. But we can guess with the map name Coast, it would probably have been something similar to, well, the first original mode that predated zombies, that they're going to do a D-Day opening. Because that was the original game mode before zombies came to existence. Just shameless plug to my other video where I talked about that too. But Coast was scrapped and reworked into Call of the Dead, which Call of the Dead released for Black Ops 1. Now back in the day, there was a mod that replicated the Coast map, but I think it's been lost to internet history. It's probably super old, so there's no way of downloading it. I might be wrong on that, but you can find it for Black Ops 3 as there's something similar exactly like to it. There's another map called Farm. This map could have probably used reused assets from the Soviet campaign, you know, when that one mission where you attack the farms in the German areas. They probably would have reused assets from that type of area. But there's leftover models that there was supposed to be a truck right there, which is a German truck, and the Type 94. But that's about it. We're just only going based off the name, and I think that they probably gonna reuse assets because that's how it was in the original COD Zombies mode, as they only had limited resources to work on this mode, which again, I talked about in a different video. The 3rd map was called Makin, and I think this is based off the atoll in the Pacific Island, so probably a second Shinonuma. Or it might have been the original plans for Shinonuma, but for this map, there were just leftover script files. Also for this map, it could have been a Japanese bunker, like from the US campaign, even to a Japanese trench system. So those were the 3 maps for the 4th map pack. There's 2 other ones, as the other one is the most infamous one, the Paris map. Before talking about the Paris map, all these maps were talked about in Greece. If you go to the boards, there's teaser images around. One you can see the coast, one you can see the other one, and one I think you can make out the Makin coast, but there probably might be something different. But there's ones that in the background you can see the Eiffel Tower, which is going to be the infamous Paris map. But I'll talk about the Paris map more in detail in Black Ops 1 because that's where the main focus was going to be on, because Paris was replaced by Moon. But it is interesting that they were trying to work on Paris map since with World at War, because they've been dying to make a Paris map since beginning with World at War. But I'm going to talk about that more in detail in Black Ops 1 when we get to that section. The last cut map that was supposed to release in World at War was Theater. Well, we already played Theater because this is Keen Tilton. Theater was almost practically done, but they just ported it to Black Ops 1 and just finished it over there, as they had the same issue with the 4th map pack that Model for 2 was already released, so they just went to work on the new game Black Ops 1. So they reallocated a lot of resources to that map. It's funny because if you play Keen Tilton, it does feel like that has that World at War feel. But those are all the cut maps for World at War. Now onto Black Ops 1. Black Ops 1 was practically a finished product with zombies as they got a little bit more increase in budget. But still, there was some cut maps for this game, but there was only 3. So we're going to start with the first one. Since Black Ops 1 takes place in the Vietnam War, they were going to do a Vietnam style type of map. It was only planning phase, but there's no concept for this type of map, but we can already guess that we're probably going to use reuse assets from the campaign, but slightly make them different to make them new. Since, well, they already had the setting for Vietnam from the campaign, so they could just reuse that again, of course with different changes. Now there's no concept map or at least a pre-planned map for the Vietnam map, but there is concept for the zombies which details more interest what they were going to do with this map. So this map would have took place in North Vietnam, and also too, the map ID for this map is called Viet Cong. And it seems that Ravenshoft was going to help with the development too, because they did announce that they were working on it, but was scrapped and reused for something else. Later on, we did get a Vietnam map, but that happened many years later with Cold War. There was another map called Temple of Doom, but this map was just an earlier version of Shangri-La. It seems like they went out for Temple of Doom for the first earlier stages. And apparently there was going to be a new Pack-a-Punch model for Pack-a-Punching weapons, as for the machine was going to be slightly different. But from the concept map, we can see that there was going to be a lot of traps and a lot of things to do around in this map. But again, this was the early version of Shangri-La, as they combined Viet Cong, the Vietnam map, and this map too to make Shangri-La. Since we got a Temple of Doom map, but in the style with Shangri-La, as that replaced that with that. And now for the infamous Paris map, to talk more details about that. As said before, Moon replaced Paris, as Paris was supposed to be released in the Resurrection map pack with map pack 4. But it ended up getting reworked into Moon. And while some of the Moon elements are stuck inside too with the Paris elements too, as they reuse some of the things from that just to convert it to Moon. With the beginning part of Moon, No Man's Land. This was supposed to be a big deal for the Paris map, as they wanted to do the style of World War I. Instead with the teleporter too, with the Moon, they were going to have a big teleporter inside the Eiffel Tower, and you could teleport outside the map. Of course, get out of the No Man's area land. Well, these guys were infatuated with making a Paris map. They kept talking about it over and over again when working on the design for the 4th map pack. Also too, along the way, since it started with World at War and all the way went to Black Ops 1. The Paris idea started to die down, and well, they restructured everything and redid everything for the Moon map. Instead of Paris, we got the Moon map. In a certain way, we did get the Paris map, but it wasn't taking place in Paris. It was more taking place in northern France, which was Origins. At least we did get our infamous Paris map, but instead it's just Origins and it's just taking place in northern France. Still, it was a cool idea to include a Paris map, but I feel like in the future with future zombies, they might come back with the Paris map again in the future, like what they did with the Vietnam map when they came out for Cold War. Maybe in the future we might get a Paris map. If not, if that doesn't come to the future, well, we could just play modded maps. And then so that was the cut maps for Black Ops 1. Those are a short section, but the next one's going to be much shorter, but it's going to be about one of the bigger maps that's very loved and hated, and that's for Black Ops 2. Now on to Black Ops 2. But before I talk about Transit, because that one was a big, huge step that got a lot of stuff scrapped, there's other maps that got scrapped too along the way. With the other map pack with Black Ops 1 with Resurrection, in which we got all the World of War maps remastered and put into Black Ops 1, well, they were going to do the same thing with Black Ops 2, but also include Black Ops 1 maps. So basically, this was Zombie Chronicles before Zombie Chronicles came to Black Ops 3. This precursor to Zombie Chronicles was supposed to release after Origins in the 5th DLC pack. It sucks for it because they planned it out from the beginning and they're almost done with it. It was cancelled for unknown reasons. Probably has to do with the new game, Call of Duty Ghosts, coming out, and then probably something similar to World at War, where just that it was just too late into game cycle as the game was about to end since Call of Duty Ghosts was about to come out, so they never did it. But at least we got Zombie Chronicles for Black Ops 3, and hopefully we're going to get Zombie Chronicles 2 for Black Ops 6, as there's a rumor going around that might happen. That's a big might. So we're going to be talking about Transit, as that's the most biggest cut map for Black Ops 2. Well, most of half of the area was cut off from this map too, as one of the most ambitious maps ever to be in Call of Duty Zombies. And this is Transit. Nowadays, Transit has a love and hate relationship in the zombies community, as many people don't like it and many people like it. To me, I'm indifferent, it's okay and it's bad at the same time. Certain aspects in the map that are good and there's certain aspects that make it bad. But the original Transit map went through many reworks. In a sense, the map was going to be more open world-esque, but it had to cut down on the majority of the things. This was due to the technology being limited at that time. There would be a lot of performance and memory issues working on the map, and also too, since Call of Duty was going to be a universal game, you needed to have it to work on Xbox, PlayStation, and well, I don't know, but even on the Wii U too. Of course, PC. They had to sacrifice a lot of things with Transit, because apparently the original version had a decrease of fog and smoke effects, as you know, compared to today where it's practically covering the whole map, and also too, it had no lava in the original version. The one we got is that it's a whole sea of lava almost looking like hell. Remember when they said it was almost like an open world-esque? As the play area was supposed to be much larger than anticipated. I know the one we got is kind of large, but it was going to be much larger than that. Even too, if you look at the board, apparently this was supposed to be the original map idea of where you can open up another part of the map with the bus. When you unlock this area, it's supposed to be much larger than the original area of where the first bus depot is, and where town and power station are. But this was severely cut, and we get the main map, which is supposed to be the first area. But with this content, we could at least see some of them in the pre-alpha footage, behind the scenes when they were first working on the map with the first idea of it. And also too, another cut thing is that before the final game was released, there was supposed to be more subsections of what you selected for the final game. As remember, there's Nocturne and Tilden, the cornfields, the power station, and the tunnel. Access them through the menu like with the other one of how you play grief mode, but they end up taking it out. With my opinion, if Transit was made like the originally was intended to, I think it would have been one of the best maps. But we may never know because we never get to see the original map ideas implemented. Maybe these ideas will be reused in the future, probably when there's probably a Transit remake or probably a Transit sequel. So technology is much better than it was back in 2012, and it's possible many hardware can handle the new map of the original intentions of Transit. That's going to be a big maybe if they're going to remake Transit, because you know it has a love and hate relationship and not many people like it, so they might not chance it again, but just maybe. So those are all the cut maps for Black Ops 2. So we're going to go to Black Ops 3, which many consider to be one of the best zombies experience, and this game had some cut maps. Now we're on Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3 is going to be the shortest section in this video because there's only 2 confirmed cut maps for this game. And it has to do with Zombie Chronicles. Since Zombie Chronicles was supposed to be for Black Ops 2, we worked it to Black Ops 3, but they wanted to include some maps from Black Ops 2 into Black Ops 3, but they couldn't. And these 2 maps are, well, Mob of the Dead was supposed to be in Zombie Chronicles but never got the chance to. Did work on it, but they ended up scrapping it because they were going to work on Black Ops 4 or Blood of the Dead. And the other map was Transit. And just like with Mob of the Dead, they also work on it but end up scrapping it. Apparently they were going to do a Transit remake. It was planned for development but never got to see, and we still don't know if they're still working on a Transit remake, even if it exists at all. And for both of these maps, we were supposed to receive a remaster and remake basically in Zombie Chronicles fashion. It never got to happen, so, well, Zombie Chronicles is the way how we got it with Black Ops 1 and World at War maps. Also to the Origins map. Now those are only the 2 confirmed maps that were cut for Black Ops 3. Now we're going to go on to Black Ops 4, which is going to be the final game in our selection. Now Black Ops 4. Black Ops 4 is infamous because, well, there was a lot of changes that took out a lot of fan favorite stuff. And this had the most cut maps on the list, more than World at War. Because World at War had 5 cut maps, but Black Ops 4 had 7. And there's a lot, because remember they did a separate storyline, the Chaos storyline, along with the Aether storyline. 3 for each storylines too. So first we're going to start with the Chaos storyline. One map for the Chaos storyline was going to be based in Morocco. It was supposed to release after DLC 2, after Dead of the Night. And I guess this map was supposed to be a reference to Casablanca, but I have no clue about that film since that's an old film that released in 1942 but takes place in French Morocco when French had Morocco under their control. I guess this map would have been a huge reference to that, but I'm not sure. This map was planned to release after DLC 2, but never got the rounds to be worked on. I guess this was very early on to development, so they just scrapped Morocco. This was early in development when the Chaos storyline was going to be the main focus for Black Ops 4 too. Reason I say that because the next map was called Russia. And I guess this map, since the Chaos storyline takes place during 1912 and 1918, so the Russian Empire was still around, and I guess this map would have taken inspiration from Rasputin and his weird dealings with the occult stuff. Well, it is believed that he did occult stuff. And I guess that would have fit in with the Chaos storyline, but the Russian DLC was scrapped because it was supposed to be released after the Morocco DLC, after DLC 3, and I guess it was supposed to be the last one in the Chaos storyline. This map was planned before they were going to include the Aether storyline into Black Ops 4. We're going to mainly focus on the Chaos storyline because after Black Ops 3, well, they thought the Aether storyline was finished, but they ended up coming back to finish off the Aether storyline with Black Ops 4. And then so we got a split development from the Chaos storyline and the Aether storyline. But there was one more map that was supposed to be planned for the Chaos storyline. And apparently for this map it had a model too, but this map was called Blue. The model name was called Earth Throne Room Waterfall. And this map was supposed to be released after Ancient Evil, which was the last map for the Chaos storyline and also the last bit of the Chaos storyline, as it finished off with the Ancient Evil map, and we never get to see the Chaos storyline ever again. But I think what Blue is, because there's not much details about it, since the Chaos storyline takes place in mythology type of setting, well, I think there's 3 settings for this map. What can it be? This is pure speculation because I'm going based off the model name and the map name, which is called Blue. Probably this map would have taken place in Atlantis. Since Ancient Evil takes place in Greece, probably the next things would be more Greece inspired, so it probably would have been Atlantis. That's when I think when it says Earth Throne Room Waterfall, but that's not highly likely, but I'm thinking more of Atlantis. That's most likely because, well, it started to take place more in mythology type of setting, and, well, the last map was Greece, so it was probably more inspired with Greece. The 2 other ones are probably not less likely, but that one could have been Journey to the Center of the Earth, as well I'm going based off the name of the Earth Throne Room, so it would have been inside the Earth's core. That stuff seemed probably a lot, but it would have been like that. The 3rd one could have been in Persia, or modern day Iran as it's called, and it would have taken place in the old empire city of the old Persian Empire, Achaemenid Empire, when they were still going around with Zoroastrianism. And it would probably been taking place in the old capital of this old empire. Basically, that city was the main basis of the empire and the main trade hub of the capital city. Well, since this was like the first empire that connected both of the continents, with Africa, Asia, and Europe, it would have been probably taken place with the Earth Throne Room, as basically this empire was the main first empire that connected these worlds. And probably that's why it's called the Earth Throne Room. But then again, that's all pure speculation. We have no more details about this map, as apparently this would have been the last map, but it got scrapped altogether. And that was it for the Chaos portion of the scrap maps. Now onto the Aether storyline. Now again, there was 3 scrap maps for the Aether storyline. Remember in the Black Ops 3 section that they said that they were going to do Transit Remake? Well, apparently there was going to be a Transit Remake or remastered for Black Ops 4. They said that this map was supposed to release after Tag Door Tilton. It's likely it would have been a remastered because after Tag Door Tilton, well, that ends the Aether storyline. And well, apparently there was a bunch of models and textures for this Transit Remake, but never got to see because Tag Door Tilton ended, and well, the Transit map ended up getting scrapped. Probably this is where the rumors started with Zombie Chronicles 2, because the next map that was scrapped was Buried. As Buried was planned for the Aether storyline, it probably would have gained more backstory on Monty, because apparently Monty was in the buried town. I'm not sure yet, because after Black Ops 3 I ended up dropping the lore. But this probably would have been a major link to Dr. Monty for this type of map. Now there is some assets in the Blackout portion, because there's some areas that look like Buried. That might be wrong, it would have been probably a remastered for Zombie Chronicles 2, because this is where the rumors first started. But I'm going to be wrong on that because these are rumors. There was never a planned idea for Zombie Chronicles 2. It was probably thrown around the office, but never got finalized. But like with the other maps, this was scrapped altogether. But there was one more map that was going to be totally different from Tag Door Tilton. And this map was called Great War. Now the map ID file for this name was called Origins. And this was supposed to be the last map in the Aether storyline before Tag Door Tilton replaced it. Seems like the Primus crew were going to go back in time and fight in the original Great War, probably changing some of the events. Or a second Great War was supposed to happen. And most likely this would have been an all-out map because it was supposed to end the Aether storyline. In the files there are some textures around because they have Crusader outfits, but that's about it. Then again, we don't know if it was supposed to be a second Great War or the original one in the first place because it says that we were supposed to take place after Tag Door Tilton after the full thing ended, or it might have replaced Tag Door Tilton instead. Because Tag Door Tilton is not called DLC 4, it was called something else. We don't know yet because there's not that much information about this cut map. So we gotta use pure speculation on this map. If it was gonna end the Aether storyline, I wish we got this instead of Tag Door Tilton, because Tag Door Tilton is kind of eh. At least we got the Victus crew again. I feel like they should have went out an all-out ending for the Aether storyline. And so that's all the cut maps for Black Ops 4 and for Old Zombies in general. And so that's all the cut maps for Old Zombies. Well, there's probably more cut maps because, well, they were working a lot in the offices and probably there's a bunch of map ideas that got thrown around. But these are just wordplay, so there's not really a fully concrete evidence of what they were planning out, or even evidence if there's even models for that type of planning out too. Probably in the planning room there was a lot of ideas thrown around, but they never got finalized or not even got into the paper to be planned out or to be drawn out to get the concept art of it. There's more than likely a lot of map ideas that got scrapped, but we'll never know because it was probably word of mouth and probably most of the developers might not even remember what they said. Now there's a lot of cut content for Old Zombies. I didn't talk about all of them in this video, I only talk about the maps. But in the future video, I will talk about all the cut content, from the wonder weapons to everything. But I think I talked along for a long time, so thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you guys have a nice day. This is Mazer Argo, signing out.